Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston, and apparently Missouri is in the house. It is the 24th. It's April, and we are relegated to going live on one of my backup channels, RFB3. So, RFB2, my other backup channel, because remember, I never got my main channel back, unlike everyone else, but whatever. That got taken down because of that video that I posted, the hour-long video explaining the dirty secret about those that call themselves Jews but are not. They're actually the synagogue of Satan. And I'll say this every time. They're mentioned not once but twice in Revelation. That should tell you something, because Revelation is not a very thick book. You see what I'm saying? At any rate, it is a backup of a backup. What is up from NorCal? What is up, Rusty? We'll just say Rusty. I'm not going to read the whole thing. The Watchman, what's up? I missed you. Ian Dixon from the UK, what is up, man? I don't know how to say that. What's up? I totally agree. Totally agree. And they're doing everything they possibly can to keep you looking in the opposite or incorrect direction. And we're going to talk about that. What are you talking about? Why did you let that little, I don't know what that means. What Mexican boy? I don't know what that means. All right. So remember, if someone's acting like a jerk off and you think that I would throw them out of the party, if you've got a wrench, that's your job. So do it or don't. Are we starting or finishing? We're just getting rolling. It's going to take a bit. Yeah, dude, you keep mentioning this. You keep mentioning this. You keep mentioning this. We saw it. We saw it. We saw it. Yeah, he's not a boy. He's not somebody you want to meet in a dark alley. I'll tell you that. Kid's squared away. He might laugh and giggle a lot, but he's a serious dude. He's actually doing exactly everything he possibly can to get his family ready for what's coming. Unlike everybody else who's just distracted with whatever comes down the line, nonstop, never-ending, blah, blah, blah. So I sub them all, speak. I don't know what that means, but cool. That sounds good. I just think I saw a T. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, we're going to get to that. Don't worry about that. David Wilcock. Yeah. Yeah. What is up, Nature Nurture G? Joe Potter, I already said what's up. Anthony Mongo, what's up? You connected like mods together, opened up ideas. I don't know what you're talking about. That's because I'm reading fast and I'm a little agitated. So sorry. I hate starting a video when I'm agitated, but sometimes that happens. Plus, I wanted this to start 2 hours after I set it up. And I set it up. I go ride the mountain bike. I come back and it's like, yeah, it's starting in 2 hours. And I'm like, dude, I'm not doing a live stream at 8 o'clock at night. I'm not a young fella anymore. FEMA Region 1, man. I'm from FEMA Region 1 as well. Melrose, what's up, brother? What is up, Zach? All right, I can't do all you guys. Morning, all. All right. I'm good. You too, John B. Jesse B. As good as can be expected. Exactly. Oh, I had to pull up an entire link because of your little comment there. You know, when you haven't said one single thing and then you say, oh, by the way, some canceled channels were brought back to track and trace people. Yeah. So we're gonna have to touch on that, okay, pal? So you opened up a topic, so we'll leave it at that. What's up, Aztec Warrior? Yeah, okay, dude. Okay, all right. I don't know what you're talking about. And your username doesn't really help. You know what I mean? Seriously, it doesn't really help. I'm just saying. You can change your username, believe it or not. At any rate, all right, let's get into this real quick because I'm going to get stuck in the sauce over here way too long. M St. G, what's up? Jason White, what's up? Joe Potter, I just keep hitting you. Man, you comment a lot. I'm trying to hit people up. Canceling the cancel culture. What is up? All right, let's go. All right, here we go. All right. Stand by because I got to do screen shares and everything else. Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness. UFO researcher David Wilcock found dead in Colorado. Coroner's office confirms. And everybody's like, oh my God, they took him out. Yeah. Do you see him? You see that dude? You see him? Yeah. Have you ever met him? Oh, you haven't? You haven't? You've just seen videos? Well, I've met him in 2017 and I think in 2019 at a conference, neither of one which I spoke at. But yeah, you know what? Why would they take out somebody that's completely 100% pushing their agenda? He doesn't say anything that's dangerous to their plan. He completely pushes outer space, aliens, and all those other things. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else posted this, which I found rather comical. No. Oh, all right. I didn't. Where is it? This. All right. Stand by because I'm messing this up. You got to cut me some slack here because YouTube makes it very difficult to screen share. I'm going to lose my entire share screen. Where is it? See this? Why are so many ancient alien people dying? Well, this guy died in 2012. This guy died in 2013. This guy died in 2018. This guy died in 2019, 2020. 2022, 2026, 2026, and David Wilcox killed himself. So this isn't suddenly. These are dudes that are in my age category or much older that died. And people are like, let's make a meme out of that. Let's make a conspiracy out of it. Let me tell you what. We broke the story about scientists missing, 2-3 months ago? And it's continued. And here's the deal. Oh my goodness, my husband went for a walk, but he left his keys and his cell phone, and he did a factory reset on his phone before he disappeared. These people work for Los Alamos and other black sites, okay? They're getting ready to do a staged alien invasion using Project Bluebeam. We're going to call it Project Bluebeam because we don't know the name of the new system, but it's all the same. Make-believe things going on in the sky, along with technology we've never seen before, and weapons that we don't see them using in war unless they're using it against us, like directed energy, rods of God, plasma weapons, things we don't know about, things that they got from fallen angels. So everybody that's like, oh my goodness, David Wilcox, why would they take out one of their biggest cheerleaders? You know what I mean? He was pushing everybody directly away from the truth. Do you see what I'm saying? But whatever. I met him and he was a dork. And it is what it is. It's too bad that he killed himself, but, if he knew God, he wouldn't kill himself. You need to endure to the end. You cannot punch your ticket and roll out just because life gets a little too hard. All I'm going to say. So let's leave it at that. When? I don't know, man. Jack just said, when do you think they're going to do it? Well, they're prepping us. You know what I mean? What is it? Is it June? The movie comes out, Disclosure Day, and then in July at the White House, there's going to be a massive UFC fighting event. And the UFC fighters used to have, if you wanted to watch a fight, you had to do pay-per-view. But fortunately, one of our billionaire friends' sons, Larry Ellison's son, bought Paramount Plus, and Paramount Plus bought the UFC. So now nobody has to pay for pay-per-views anymore. And everybody around the world can watch for free this giant UFC fight with 3,000 to 4,000 people on the White House lawn fighting for free. That would be like Independence Day. What a perfect time for aliens to come down over the White House while everybody's watching for free. Do you see what they did here? You know what I'm saying? So my best guess would be this is going to be a crazy summer. So there it is. Dreams of in childhood of mantis people sized. Yeah, I don't know what that means. All right, let's keep it moving here because I got a lot of things to cover. Big time. I already showed you this, that the Department of Homeland Security got a surprise they're moving forward with surprise ICE facility. Sorry, I'm saying it wrong. $313 million contract to a private company to build a massive detention center that can hold up to 100,000 people. Let me get this out of here. That's what I don't like about StreamYard. It's not fast. You know what I mean? Massive warehouse. All right. Am I sharing this? All right, go.
For an ICE facility in Surprise are moving forward. At the same time, the battle to stop it is heating up.
A Canadian company has been awarded the contract to turn an existing warehouse into an ICE holding facility. But again, it comes with strong views on both sides. Fox 10's Brian Webb joins us live with the latest. Brian.
Hey, John, Christina, this is the building behind me, 400,000 square feet, originally built as light industrial usage, but now set to become the regional intake facility for ICE, or as protesters call it, a human warehouse. A small group of concerned citizens held a news conference today right in front of this big beige building, set to become one of the largest ICE facilities in the nation, capable of holding up to 1,500 migrants. Their worries range from safety inside to security outside. A Canadian company was awarded the $313 million contract, Garda World Federal. The same company running the controversial ICE facility in Florida known as Alligator Alcatraz. The company claims to have decades of experience serving migrants from New York to New Mexico, including security staff, along with legal and medical professionals. And not every Surprise resident is against this operation here in Surprise. They spoke out at a recent city council meeting.
Support them. I support our fellow law enforcement that are willing to take up that armor as well.
Law enforcement agents are removing criminals from our neighborhoods. It is much safer for me.
Sorry, can't keep playing that one. It just gets ridiculous. So there's the people that are the sheep. You know what I'm saying? But here's the fun thing. If you've ever been locked up, like I have, any facility that can hold federal holdovers, people that are going to federal prison, but they're not quite ready yet, every state has a facility to hold them, and they also have ICE facilities. We don't need to build a 93,000 capacity ICE thing for them to get rid of people that they allowed in here, that they flew in here. You see what I'm saying? This is just another place to put you and I, if they actually get to put cuffs on you, or they're going to use the zip ties or whatever. But it's laughable how people are literally supporting and paying for their own demise and then cheerleading for it. Yeah, we support these guys, lawmakers, and carrying the shield. Yeah. This isn't a secret, man. All the information we find online isn't a secret. These guys have the ability to figure this all out, but they choose not to because, hey, you don't want to upset the apple cart. You see what I'm saying? If they're not putting a data center there, they're putting an ICE detention facility, which are basically the same thing. Someone. I can't quite pin it down. But let me show you something crazy, actually, now that I say that. Let me show you something one of my subscribers sent me. All right, I'm opening all sorts of wrong things here. I want your opinion on this. What do you make of this? A subscriber sent me this email. Let me make sure I'm sharing this. I am. All right. And he said, call me crazy, but something occurred to me watching your latest video on data centers. Water has memory. They are using all of the water at these places where they collect data, quote unquote. I'm putting in the quote unquote on data. All the water here on earth has been here since the flood, when the windows of heaven were open. If water has memory, which it absolutely, without a doubt, 100% does. If water has memory, like the documentary I'm currently watching shows, then that water that came through the windows would have seen heaven, or at least the other side of the firmament. Could this be another attempt to break through to heaven, like the whole purpose of building the Tower of Babel? And on a lower scale, if they can figure out how to unlock the memories in water, then they would be able to gather all kinds of info on everyone that's ever lived. Get out of here. Did you just hear what I said? How crazy is that? Because he's 100% absolutely right. I must have did at least like six to a dozen videos over the years on water, snowflakes, and ice and how it interacts and reacts to all sorts of stimuli, music, angry people yelling at it, things like that. But I mean, think about what he just said. Think about what he just said. Water that's been here since the windows of heaven opened and flooded the place. Data centers are absolutely they are definitely the new Tower of Babel. I don't know exactly what they do, because as time goes by, people are going to figure out that these data centers, all these buildings aren't what we think they are. And I can't quite put a finger on it. I know they're here to completely destroy it. It's like putting a giant swarm of locusts in every location where they eat all the electricity, they eat all the property value, they take away all the peace and serenity, because they're constantly just vibrating and humming. They suck up all the water. You have to pay for the water. You have to pay for the electricity. The richest people on earth are building these things to make themselves richer, but you have to pay for it. And if you have anything to say about it, they don't care. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy, but it keeps going on because we are living in clown world right now. We're living in the end times right now. We are the generation. If you and I don't die tomorrow morning, in the next few months, we're going to see it, because it has to happen. Everything's getting ready to burst. AI is revealing itself as nothing more than all the richest scumbags on earth, all the richest sodomites on earth, literally raping America for every single solitary piece of gold, silver, and shekel they can pull out of it before they destroy the whole place. Seriously, this is a crazy, crazy situation that we're in right now. You know what I mean? So, exactly. I like your little thumbnail there, Anna. Nice. They will probably plug into the new third temple. You're probably right. I hear you. The reason I read that email wasn't to, put him out there or anything. I read that email because that could be prophetic. We don't know. That is crazy work right there, but it makes 100% sense. So there, as they say, is that. All right, let me show you something I just put up on Patreon real quick. I don't know if I can play this, I think, right? Stand by.
Over in the UK, they set up these cameras to charge people. It reads your number plate, and they charge them for driving in the intercity areas, something about climate change. And the locals, people were like, no, we don't agree with this. We're not going to pay any more taxes. We pay enough as it is. Why would you do this? So they go around, they're cutting them down everywhere. The police have to admit that they can't keep up with it. They're starting to reuse the parts from old ones, broken ones. The people are winning here.
Isn't that crazy? People in the UK are cutting down these stupid flock cameras that are absolutely everywhere. There's over 93,000 of them in the United States right now. And all they are for is to constantly 100% gather information at all times. And it all goes to a private company. Once again, they make a ridiculous amount of money. And these will be for energy lockdowns if they need them. That way they can make sure that the moment you start driving, they've got you clocked, period. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to get worse than that. What I just said, try to remember that. And I'll try to remember it because I have the memory of a bumblebee, maybe. I don't know. But it's going to get worse than that. This is insane what I'm going to show you. You know what? I guess I'll just show it to you now because this is crazy work. Big time. If I can find it. Can I find it? Seriously? Yes, I got it. Sorry. I need a Butler. Oh, how ironic. We're going to be talking about Butler in a few minutes, but I digress. Watch this. This is a channel called Loyal Moses. I never heard of him before, ever. And I subscribe to him, and it says it's not your truck anymore. They won. And I've researched this. He's not pulling it out of his hat. And the video is only 9 minutes. So I'm going to pretty much let him run with it.
Come on. No.
Now imagine there was an emergency outside the truck. an accident, something terrible on the ranch with a chainsaw. And I jump in this truck, but the truck, it won't shift into drive. Why? Because the cameras and sensors inside this cab won't let it shift, because it detects my eyes are big, there's a lot of emotion, there's some panic, and it doesn't feel that I'm fit to drive. Now that's not science fiction, that is happening because Ford just filed the patents. Ford actually has a series of patents down at the US Patent and Trade Office that deal with the sensors and cameras inside the cab of their truck. And if the sensors in that truck determine that you're not fit to drive, that truck will not actually shift from park to drive. Now, they already have a system called telematics, and that's where they can actually pull up cameras in real time inside the cab of their fleet vehicles. Now, they actually market this to insurance companies, because the truth is, this is really about who owns the data and who owns the liability. Now, your name might actually be on the title of this truck, and you may have paid for it, but you don't own it. Now, Ford didn't file just one patent. They filed a stack of them, all within months of each other. Are you sitting down? Get this. This Ford technology patent doesn't just watch you. This one puts you in jail. Ford filed a patent, serial number 0104469, where the system takes your biometric data, your face, your iris, and your fingerprint, and it runs it through a criminal database in real time.
Now, I'm going to play this kid's whole video, and I'm going to give him, I subscribed. I urge you to subscribe. This gets crazy. And here's the deal. It isn't just Ford. This is just the first time somebody found the patent. These patents they're not advertised. You got to go looking for this type of stuff. But this gets absolutely crazy. This is exactly like having a flock camera, the ones that apparently people in the UK are kicking over and so forth, in your vehicle at all times. You see what I mean? These guys want to surveil you on the most minute level possible at all times. This is 1984, but way worse. And it's happening because everybody's distracted with whatever distraction they throw out. You know what I mean? The latest distraction is everybody's coming to the conclusion, all the replacement truthers, after we all got taken out, all the new people that were allowed to start telling, a sanitized version of the truth, are finally coming to the realization that, hey, maybe Donald Trump didn't get shot. You know what I mean? But on that, we'll get to that. On that, I'll digress.
While you're sitting in your own truck, think about what that means. You wake up one morning, you walk out to your driveway, you climb into a vehicle with your name on the title, on property with your name on the deed. And before you go anywhere, before you've done a single thing wrong, your truck is already running your face through a law enforcement database. Ford's own patent language describes this as potentially useful for police. They wrote that. Ford wrote that into the patent application. So the question isn't whether this technology can be abused. Ford already told you who it's for. You just didn't know that you were buying a cop car. Now I'm going to walk you through a few of these patents. Lip reading, cameras inside your cab, machine learning trained on lip movement data sets, cloud connected, your face processed somewhere you'll never see, stored as long as they want.
In a data center, and this is in no way for anybody's safety, okay? This isn't for anybody's safety whatsoever at all. Not this for anybody else's safety. I'm screwing this all up. This thing is lip reading. It's paying attention to your conversation. It's using machine learning to make sure it gets every single word that you and your family or anybody are saying if you're on a phone call at all times. That's worse than having a cop in your car, because at least you can bribe a cop. Well, at least half of them. Sorry, fellas, but you guys are helping the New World Order get where it's going right now, whether you know it or not. If you guys weren't drinking after work so much, maybe you'd do a little research and figure out you're in the wrong profession. It used to be a noble profession, being a constable on patrol, but no longer. No longer. And this thing, it's worse than Flock, because Flock can't read lips, man. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, let me digress again. Sorry.
Acoustic lip reading. If the cameras aren't enough, the system emits inaudible sound waves and reads the echoes bouncing off of your mouth. You can't see it, it's just happening. Biometrics, your face, fingerprint, iris, filed February 2024, and it was published August 2025. This one is assigned a serial number because it's real. Ad listening. This is scary. It monitors conversations between everyone in the cab. It serves targeted ads based on what you and others are talking about while you're driving. In Ford's words, maximum opportunity for ad-based monetization.
Yeah, they're putting that in there to CYA, or cover your ass, as I read in a book one time. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, see this? That's not exactly accurate whatsoever at all. That's a bad thing to put out there. It's not a great idea. I know a lot of people that are police that are awake, that aren't assholes, but some just aren't awake yet. Just like professors who think climate change is real, even though they're a professor. You know what I'm saying? So don't paint with such a broad brush. But I hear what you're saying. Seriously. Why even put that comment in there? That makes no sense whatsoever at all. I mean, really? Really? Comments are open, and that's all you got? Well, whatever. But at any rate, that right there is completely 100% factual, and here's the patent. It's all right here in black and white. So somebody saying something and actually backing it up with facts or a patent, or the person that's responsible actually saying the words out of their own mouths, is a rare thing, which is why I put him up there and let him speak on it. So there, as they say, is that. The patent will be pinned in the comment section after this video is done. But this is a trip, man. This is a trip. This is so far beyond 1984. It's, in case you can't get a good visual on your lips, it puts out a wireless tone. You know what I mean? It puts out a frequency, another frequency while you're driving. What if they decide to mess with that frequency and it makes you absolutely enraged? You know what I'm saying? And you drive over a school bus full of baby seals. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy how far these guys are going. And your government is supposed to protect you from these things. That's what a government is for. Instead, the government stopped protecting us way back after they blew JFK's head off. You know what I'm saying? I used to say this when I was younger, much younger, and not awake whatsoever at all. But I did always notice what was going on. I used to say this all the time. The deregulation of television directly correlates to the demoralization of the country. Once they started letting you show butt cheeks and boobs and gay people and all this other stuff, it was over. It was absolutely over. You know what I'm saying? This stuff was supposed to be regulated. Our society reflects what's called art, music, movies, video games, like video games, crazy, crazy stuff, which is why everybody's a bunch of, well, basically this. Oh, never mind. I can't open everything, which bums me out. I'm not sure why. I was going to show you a very funny looking blue-haired lady, but I don't know how to do that currently. So that really sucks. That really, really sucks. I did do this. All right, whatever. Cancel. Biorhythms are being correlated to the individual. Yes. Frequencies are being tailored to each and every person. The more information that you give them, the better they'll be, which is not a great thing. But let's jump in this real quick. If you guys remember, about a year and change ago, I started using clips from this guy, and I said he seems pretty decent. He's like the mainstream, but he seems like he's a little bit awake. You know what I mean? Well, I don't know. I don't know what to make of him because he stays well within the margins. He never strays outside. But James Lee has come up with this recently, and it's like, how long does it take to figure out the incredibly obvious?
Flag. Trump has just gotten up from being shot, and now the photographers are being moved into position. At this point, the camera angle basically stabilizes position, and then now you see the flag coming into frame, seemingly held up by this crane that you see in the top right corner of the screen. No flag, and then photographers getting in position, and then flag. Is Donald Trump a Manchurian candidate? And if so, how did they get control of a man who seemingly couldn't be controlled? And maybe more importantly, who are the ones pulling the strings?
You and I and everyone else who supported him, you wrote speeches for him, I campaigned for him. I mean, we're implicated in this for sure.
Yes.
It's not enough to say, well, I changed my mind, or like, oh, this is bad, I'm out. It's like, in very small ways, but in real ways, you and me and millions of people like us are the reason this is happening right now.
Yes.
So I do think it's like a moment to wrestle with our own consciences. You know, we'll be tormented by it for a long time. I will be. And I want to say I'm sorry for misleading people. It was not intentional. That's all I'll say. But anyway, but the question does present itself immediately. Like, what is this? Was this always the plan?
You know, looking back after the last year and a half, it seems like it kind of was. And it's easy. Well, you could get really deep about it and say, what was Butler?
Yeah, what was Butler? Like, what really happened at Butler?
What really happened at Butler was Trump did an initiation. He had to show his allegiance to Israel. The people that claim to be Jews that are not, but are in fact the synagogue of Satan, in order to show his fealty, in order to give over his honor, like, I will serve you, he had to do an old tradition. Many fish figured this out within days of this. And I saw his video and I just didn't get it at the time. I just didn't get it. Trump didn't get shot in any way whatsoever at all. Nobody got shot. You can tell by looking at the people sitting behind them. When have you ever seen a shooting? People don't just sit, oh, somebody's shooting at us. Oops, that guy's dead. Let's just sit here and look around and worry and wonder about Donald Trump. It's ridiculous. It's laughable. And for people that keep bringing this up, you see this? This is propaganda, okay? This isn't real. Do you know how many people I know that were snipers? Do you know what I'm saying? You know how many people I know that are in special forces to this day right now? This isn't real. To make a bullet you can shoot out of a gun that can take a left or right-hand turn, they don't exist, man. They don't exist. They would have to have little jets on them, like, you know, like Elon's make-believe rockets that can go up and take a left turn and come back down and land safely. These don't exist. This is exactly what happened to Donald Trump. Straight up. Because Trump is one of them. He literally belongs. He belongs to Israel. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is complicated, but remember this.
You knew damn well I was a snake.
No, not that. This
Happened. Move his spear. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go. Hawkeye's here. We ready?
Okay, we are watching live at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, where former President Trump was speaking on the stage. There has been some kind of disturbance that clearly sets law enforcement and Secret Service into motion, immediately jumping around the former.
Look at the Secret Service guy walking back and forth and looking down and at the crowd, because that's where the sniper's probably hidden. Am I right?
Are we ready to go? Are we ready to go? We are looking at President Trump. This does not look good. I'm going to be honest with you. From what we can see right here, it looks like they are attempting to move him out, that he may have been injured.
Now, we've all seen that, okay? The whole world has seen that. And many of us knew that that was not a real shooting. The people in the background are just sitting there. So somebody just fired at the president directly in front of you, and they're still firing, but you're going to sit there and just keep watching and looking. Everybody was completely inept. And the first thing Trump said when he got up was, "I need my shoes." Now, Many Fish did a video on this explaining it very, very, very well. But I didn't understand the gravity of it till I saw this. All right, this kind of freaks me out, listening to myself say things that I just said a minute ago, but then I said it at the same time. It's just a weird thing. Whatever. I don't know. I'm a weirdo. Forget it. Morning. This was the first thing I saw when I woke up this morning. Why? I don't know. But it explains so much. Trump didn't sell us out. We just got completely fooled. 100%. Well, I'll explain it afterwards.
For Trump to continue his loyal service to the Shabbat movement, which helped bring him to power, he would have to publicly declare his slavery to his Jewish masters by taking a piercing publicly to his ear. Now, it would be a little too obvious and frankly weird as hell for you to witness a rabbi publicly poking a hole in Trump's ear. So how could this public display of loyalty be achieved for all the world to see without raising any unusual suspicion? Well, on July 13th, 2024, while speaking at a public rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, Trump was supposedly shot in the ear by a would-be assassin. A photographer captured this moment of Trump rising defiantly before all the world with a bloodied ear. This assassination attempt, however, was actually Trump's global initiation as Shabbat's loyal bondservant, the Messiah ben Joseph, otherwise known as the Forerunner. Trump, like Cyrus the Great before him, would be the non-Jewish Messiah, obtaining riches, subduing nations, and pursuing titles of greatness, who will conquer the enemies of the Jews so that they can destroy Al-Aqsa Mosque and rebuild the temple.
And here's the thing. Remember this. When in history ever has a sitting president in the United States been officially put on a coin, the half shekel, in another country? Trump's face was put on a coin in Israel back the first time around. You remember that? You remember that? Because he really does. He doesn't care about his legacy as being president whatsoever at all. He doesn't care. He's going even bigger than that. He's going as a lesser god, a lowercase g god. That's his whole game plan. Big time. And it should be pretty self-evident by now.
If you remember, in Trump's first term, he broke with tradition and moved the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, recognizing it as the capital of Israel. He assassinated Qasem Soleimani during his first term, and he was the one who greenlit the Pentagon's active planning phase for this war we are currently watching years before it officially kicked off.
So whether people are religious or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If they don't believe in anything, that's fine. But the people in charge absolutely do. And the people in Israel, the Jews, are waiting for their Mashiach to return. But I found out today that there's two Mashiachs. There's the Forerunner, and then there's the actual Mashiach. And Trump is the Forerunner.
The Abraham Accords, the deal of the century, so on and so forth. I do believe we're going to see this come back into the picture. You have Netanyahu in the country meeting with Trump.
Many Fish did this video right after the Butler shooting. He was the first one to catch this right off the rip. And even back then, I didn't quite understand the gravity of it. Not that gravity's real, but you see what I'm saying.
Who isn't even president, but he's meeting with him as if he were. But we can't forget that the Rebbe Schneerson, who many looked upon as the Messiah himself, told Netanyahu, "You will be the one to hand the scepter to Messiah."
40 years ago, when Netanyahu was Israel's ambassador to the United Nations, he met Menachem Mendel Schneerson, the leader of the Chabad Lubavitch movement, known simply as the Rebbe. The Rebbe believed Netanyahu had a mission from God to prepare Israel for the coming of the Messiah, or in Hebrew, the Moshiach. Soon after entering Israel's parliament for the first time, Netanyahu paid his respects to his mentor.
So we got to keep that in mind, because they do have an understanding of things, and they co-opt prophecy and self-fulfill it in order to fool and deceive the world. That's literally how they do it. They invert God's word and his prophecy. They turn everything upside down.
The current non-Jewish Messiah was chosen to be of service to the Jewish people and the Jewish Messiah. President Trump's right ear was grazed in a symbolic gesture of Exodus 21:6, where the Torah states that a servant who wants to remain with his master needs to have his right ear pierced.
So you see what I'm saying? The reason I ran that is because so many people are suddenly, because everybody does everything in waves. They all do the same video. Well, all the replacement truthers are now saying, hey, Butler wasn't real. What, seriously? What took you so long? How did it take this long to figure this out? It's astonishing. I've been against Trump since 2016. The videos are still up. How in the world did people somehow think a billionaire was on our side, or he could understand the problems a regular working human being had to deal with on Earth when you've been a billionaire not once, but twice? And both times your money could be traced right back to the little hat folks. Crazy. But for some reason, somehow, people are starting to literally figure out that Butler was no good. But here's the fun part. That's just another in a long line of distractions. If you're just figuring that out, that's terrific. Don't distract everybody with old news. Stay on what's happening right now. These guys are currently, they're talking about disclosure days coming. Trump's got a speech written, etc. These guys are getting ready to do this, man. This is insanity, absolute, utter insanity. And every single person that possibly can get their foot in the door is stealing everything they possibly can. Don't tell me I can't share this, because I'll be pissed. Check this out. This is a list of billionaires in the year 2000, okay? Bill Gates, he had 60 billion. Larry Ellison had 47 billion. So forth, so on. But look at this. Look at these numbers. That was the richest guy on earth, $60 billion. Second was Larry Ellison, who now owns basically everything that is media. But if you get on the list, I'm not trying to say it like it's no big deal, but in today's standards, these guys, I got 4.9 billion. Yeah, well, you're a rookie. You know what I mean? You're just not quite evil enough. You haven't raped and tortured enough children, apparently, because that's what you need to do to become one of these guys. You see what I mean? And number 322, because there was 322. I find that hilarious. He only had $1 billion, but that was back then. Let's take a look at the billionaires that we have now. Where is it? Stand by. There we go. Richest people in the United States in 2026. Billionaires ranked by net worth. Get out of here, man. Elon Musk. Now, this is insane because it depends if you go to Forbes, he has $890 billion. Like literally, if you go to Forbes right now, he has double that amount. Larry Page, Larry Ellison, Oracle, Jeff Bezos, 255, Zuckerberg, 229. That is stupid, incredible, ridiculous money Bill Gates is way down here. He just basically doubled his amount. You know what I mean? Because everybody hates him. So they, you know, we can't let you be the richest guy on earth anymore. Let's make Elon Musk the richest guy on earth. And the numbers are staggering. Look at this is insanity. Insanity. And it just goes on forever. And of course, our president's been on there because since he's become president, he's now $4 billion richer. The list just keeps going. I'm not going to show it all because it's nauseating. But here's the fun part. Here's the fun part. Billionaires started sprouting up after 9/11, but that just wasn't good enough. That wasn't good enough whatsoever at all. The pandemic is what did everybody in. And everybody knows it, man. Pandemic profits, billionaires' wealth grew by $1.7 trillion during 3 years of the public health emergency. What does that tell everybody? What does that tell the FBI? What does that tell all the alphabet agencies? You know what I'm saying? Oh, nothing to see here. You know, they just did some lucky investments. That's all. No big deal. What can be done? You know what I mean? Net worth 2020. Elon Musk. I don't even know what any of these numbers mean. I have no idea what any of these. Oh, millions. Pandemic wealth during COVID. Elon Musk, 622%. Jeff Bezos, that's a lie. That's a complete lie. They're whitewashing this. And here's the fun part of all of this. Every single one of these people and their technology, it's either they're making money from insider trading, like Donald Trump will make a tweet, and then they comes to find out that a bunch of people were literally doing a short sell stock trade that correlated exactly with the tweet. Does that make sense? Trump would tweet, and then a bunch of people would make hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars based on what he tweeted. And then the tweet that he tweeted, it sounds so stupid. The tweet wasn't actually anything. He was just putting out information that would cause the stock market to move around. These guys would make money off of it, and then he wouldn't even do it because every single day Donald Trump says one thing, and then by noon he says something else. By supper time he says something else. These guys are out in the open. They don't care anymore. They already showed us that they're all pedophile rapists, and there ain't ugats anybody's going to do about anything whatsoever at all. It's maddening. It's maddening. And the people that actually can get the views are just kind of playing catch up, but they'll never actually put a point on it. They'll allude, allegedly, blah, 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 but they'll never actually say it. So what are you doing this for? Do you think I don't get how these guys are talking about things like we are looking at the end of America. So make sure you hit like and subscribe. Like, what do you think's really going to happen? If everybody just put the message out and like, you know what, it is time. All these billionaires need to go to prison right now. If we took away all their money, our national debt would be gone because our national debt basically equals what they've gained. Do you see what I'm saying? It's the biggest bank robbery in the world. It's astonishing to me, man. It really is. There's no coincidence that Trump is the magician, MAGA. There's no coincidence that he posted himself wearing exactly what he was wearing on the 2017 Economist cover, of which he was on a tarot card, and then another tarot card where he was sitting on top of the American flag rolled up under him like a toilet on top of North America. You know what I mean? And the fact that he posted the 4 horsemen of apocalypse and a demon in the center, the demon's identity is debatable. I ain't getting into that. But it wasn't there when the original poster posted it. Because Trump didn't post this. Somebody else posted this, allegedly. And I'm saying allegedly because you can't prove it. Allegedly. And then Trump reposted it recently with this and I thought I was a doctor curing, well, I don't know, Jeffrey Epstein. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable, man. God ain't happy. I'll tell you what, God is not happy whatsoever at all, if I had to guess, you know? Crazy, crazy, crazy times we live in right now. Big time. Let me get rid of some of these. Oh, that's it, huh? Oh, my. All right. I wanted to show you. I did a live stream on Patreon the other day because I can live stream straight from my phone to Patreon, which was pretty badass. It took me 11 years to figure that one out, but whatever. This was something I posted and I was talking about on Patreon. You see this right here? You can now make yourself into a RoboCop. You can buy an exoskeleton. And all you got to do is put $10 down. It's a limited time offer. But you can reserve your vast not one for just $10 today and lock in the best price. So they can basically, someone like myself with, questionable knees, technically I could get one of these and it would help me climb up rocks in Moab. This guy looks like a drunk guy. I don't even know why they're using him, but whatever. But there it is, exoskeleton for about $1,400. They don't mention that you have to carry this enormous backpack. They don't mention that is the battery system for these. They make it look like you're hiking with your backpack. No, you're not. But my point about showing this anyways is if that's available on a consumer level right now for just $10 down, just imagine what they've perfected. Seriously, just imagine what they have perfected by now. It's frightening. It's absolutely frightening. They probably figured out how to put it inside of people. But on that, I'll digress. Let's look at this real quick because a subscriber or a commenter was making comments earlier, and I want to show you something. You see this? This is from, I forget the year. Oh, I don't have to forget the year because it's right here. November 25th, 2020. November 25th, 2020. Evaluating the scale, growth, and origins of right-wing echo chambers on YouTube. And this was done at Harvard, and David M. Rothschild was involved because you got to have a Rothschild or it just wouldn't be any fun for anybody. University of Pennsylvania, Department of Statistics, Harvard University, Department of Statistical Science, Fox School of Business, Temple University, Department of Computer Science, University of Colorado, BioFrontiers Institute, University of Colorado, Santa Fe, Microsoft Research New York, Microsoft Research New England. And basically what this was talking about is the internet fundamentally altered the production and consumption of political news content. That's crazy. That's crazy. They got so concerned because all of a sudden people like myself and many, many others started looking at the news and going, this is nonsense. This is bullshit. This doesn't make any sense. I didn't start making videos because I was concerned about the left-right paradigm. I didn't believe in it before I was even awake. I started a YouTube channel because I was like, how is nobody else noticing that they are literally on the clock every day? You can clock it, spraying in front of the sun. It turns into a big blanket, and then there's no sun anymore. That's my claim to fame. That's how I got going. But as you start awakening, you start noticing other things, and I just couldn't keep my mouth shut. So they did a study on us. And if you go down here to page 28, they show who the problem childs are, okay? Page 28. I'll link this, obviously. You've got the right, you've got the far right, and then you've got the far right too. Well, you know what's fun about this? Because somebody alluded that there was a thing called Project Pogo, Project Zephyr that Millennial Report put out, I think 7 years ago. And they said some truthers are being paid to mislead you. And they're even bringing back canceled YouTubers to track and trace you. Yeah, check this out. They don't need anybody to do that. They can track you off the phone that you bought, the surveillance system you carry around in your pocket, and they can track and trace everything they need off the comments that you leave in the videos and things that I say. It's all free. It's all a free-flowing organism. All they have to do is data harvest. And yes, they put my channel back on because they're making massive moves. I've been back up for a year. It took me a year to get a video taken down and have me locked down for 7 days. Hasn't happened in a long time, but I went pretty hard on that video, if you recall. That video is still available on BitChute, Rumble, and I believe Patreon right now, because F everybody. At any rate, everybody is on this list for the most part. But if you look down here, I find it very offensive. I'm very offended that I'm being called far right because I don't believe in any of their nonsense. But everybody's on here. Ben Shapiro, Nick Fuentes clips. I didn't even know him back then at all. You know, the usual suspects, except I'm on here 3 separate times. Not once, not twice, but 3 separate times. And I found that offensive because I'm not far right, but nobody else is on here 3 separate times. And like I said, I'll leave a link so you can check that out yourself. So for those that think that they need to pay anybody, they're not paying anybody. They don't need to pay anybody. It's a self-lubricating machine. All they have to do is sit and watch. And that's it. That's it. You know what I mean? No big deal. So there's your answer, whatever his name was, the dude that was commenting, by the way. By the way, you don't start your first comment with by the way unless you're looking for a fight, in my opinion. But I am an asshole. That can be scientifically proven using many different metrics and methods. But on that, I will digress. This is what he was talking about right here. Project Pogo and Project Zephyr. Yep, I remember this back in the day, at any rate. So here's the fun part. Iran is not over. Trump is not trying to make a deal. I don't know how I just did that, dude. Can you guys see that little mustached guy? I don't know who that is. All right, I'm freaking out, man. This isn't my rec cancel. Could you see that? Oh man, I really wish I had mods, you know what I mean, to do their actual job. Get this dude out of here. Yeah. No mustache guy? You couldn't see anything? My screen just split in half, and there was a cartoon figure that had a mustache on it. It was very, very odd. Very strange. All right, maybe that was just on my side. So I hit the mouse, and then something weird happened. It freaked me out a little bit. At any rate, there is no 50 Delta Force being held hostage. That dude, Professor Jiang, who keeps going on live streams now saying, I don't call myself a professor. Dude, you've got 3 channels that just popped up a year ago, and the name of them are Professor, and you called yourself Professor. The dude, I ran him 9 months ago. Remember, I was like, this is crazy. Some Chinese dude that lives in Canada is a college professor, and he's teaching everything we've ever talked about. Like, this was crazy to me. But now I see what it is. He's not a college professor. He's a high school teacher. He's not a professor. He calls himself a professor. He's not in Canada. He's in China on a VPN. And he's been absolutely everywhere. You know how that happens? Is when you're a plant and they need you. For whatever reason, he's staring everybody, but he'll never say things like Opus Dei, Skull and Bones. He'll just say generic things like Freemasons. Yeah, Freemasons are the foot soldiers. They're the ants. They get things done, which is why you see news reports with the number 33 all over them. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So at any rate, all right, I guess that was it. I agree. You haven't given me well, I have no clue who you are. So there you go. Yeah, actually, I know who my mods are. So yeah, I'm good with that dude that I don't know. I actually know my mod, so I'm good. Thank you, though. At any rate, Richie from Boston, like, share, subscribe, or don't.